Hello world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to RoboThought Zero to Hero series. We are on machine learning program, guys, and I showed you couple of things using NumPy library, right? I hope you guys enjoyed and getting hands on into NumPy. Now I am going to show you another library called Pandas. Okay, now what is Pandas? Guys, Pandas is nothing but another Python library which is basically used for working with data sets. All right. Of course, you might ask me a question that, hey, then what is NumPy? NumPy is number Python. Again, it's more of a numerical using the data, right? Remember, guys, without data there is no machine learning, no artificial intelligence, no deep learning, nothing, right? Data is the most important thing. That's the only critical aspect. Data is a new fuel. All right. So Pandas, basically it has functions like exploring the data, cleaning the data, analyzing the data, manipulating the data, and tons of other things you can do, right? The name Pandas, Pandas, basically has a reference of both panel data and Python data analysis. Combine these two words put together, it became Pandas. Okay. Now let's say why we need Pandas for machine learning and AI and stuff like that. Pandas basically allows us to analyze big data, right? The largest amount of data you have, more amount of data you have, more the conclusions you can make based on the statistical theories, and do some cleaning of the data and visualize and make decisions, right? Pandas can clean your messy data sets and make them super readable and relevant, right? That is how Pandas works. So let me show you some examples of Pandas, and we will do some hands-on. Guys, I hope you did install Pandas on your Jetson Nano, right? In lesson number 1 or 2, I left the link of my GitHub, which shows step-by-step instructions what command to execute on your Jetson Nano terminal to install and configure Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, OpenCV, and all these Python libraries. These are critical, guys. Do make sure that you did install that successfully, and if you face any issues, do leave a comment. I will help you out. All right. Now let's get into doing some hands-on exercise using Pandas. All right, guys. I am going to log into my Jetson Nano, and let me just boot it up. It's already booted up. All right. Let me share my screen. There you go. My IDE is ready. So let's play around with Pandas. Now, how do we begin with Pandas? For NumPy, we start with import NumPy and import NumPy as NP using Alias. It's the same way we are going to do for Pandas as well. Import Pandas. There you go. I can see the drop down. So that means my Jetson Nano is configured successfully and my Python interpreter is actively looking for the Pandas package and it's throwing up in a pre-populated lines. Now what we can do, I'll show you an example. So let's go back to our original example, guys. The data set, the basic data set which we created, like list of bikes and the color of bike age, speed of the bike, and whether it has FC from RTO or not, right? This is a very simple data we are going to use across to play around with Pandas. Same thing what we did with NumPy, but I'm going to show you in Pandas how we can play around with these data sets. All right. So let's say import Pandas, and I'm going to create my data set. My data set, you need to put equal to, and then when you create a data set in Pandas, you need to start using curly bracket. Okay, not the square bracket, curly bracket. All right, and then hit enter, come down to the next line. Now set the value, set what kind of data you are going to put. Say my data is bikes, so I am going to talk about bikes. So single quote, say bikes, and then come out of that code and put a colon, and then in that bike you can put your array, the name of the bikes, right? Say Suzuki, comma, and then I think it has to be in double quote. So let's use the double quote, Suzuki, comma, Yamaha, and then let's give another name, say TVS, double quote, TVS. All right, and then we need to pass this data. How do we pass? In a single quote, passings, and then set a colon, and then you pass a variable value to this. So for example, let's say 3, 5, 4. I'm just randomly throwing it up. All right, now come down below the curly bracket. All right, you have closed this entire section of bikes with your data, with your parameter and your syntax, and you're passing it to your data sets, right? Now let's come out of that, and then my variable, that is my var, just shortcut, you can name anything guys, doesn't really matter, equals pandas dot, say data frame. I am going to create a frame. All right, see here, can you see that data frame? It immediately populates once you create a data frame, and then all you need to do is my data set, which you already declared above, my data set. All right, like this, and now print what you're going to print, my variable, my var. Now let us see what happens guys. Let me run Python file in terminal. Run Python file. What is this? Oh man, sometimes run Python file in terminal, and let's see the output. All right, my data set equals, what happened? What was the syntax error? Can you guys see where did I miss? It says invalid syntax. Oh, okay, I am sorry. Let me just kill this program. So here I am calling for my data set as a single word, and here I just left a space. Simple, silly and foolish mistakes. It happens when you do some bit of basic level of coding in Python. Run Python file in terminal, and again it says line number 4 passings, and it's indicating a syntax error in the colon. So what could be the mistake? I declared the bikes. Okay, and then I think I need to put a comma here before I pass. I think so. Let me just give a try. Even a small comma and full stops makes lot of difference guys. Make a note of it. Boom, there you go, right? So guys, you saw how I was trying to debug and troubleshoot some of this errors, syntax error. 90% of the mistakes what we make is basically on syntaxes. Even a small full stop and a comma and a bracket, square bracket versus curly bracket versus a curvy bracket makes whole lot of difference guys, especially in Python, right? So you got to really practice this and master it. So here you saw the data, how we are able to create the list, and we are passing certain numerical parameters. Now let me show you another example, guys, so this, so that you guys can get more hands on. So now what we can do is, we can also, like how we did in NumPy, let me just kill this program. Oops, my system is getting crashed. There you go. Let me just kill this program, and then I'm going to say let's delete this. Alright, now what we can do is, like how we did in NumPy, right? We used NumPy, import NumPy as NP, as alias. We use aliases, right? Same way, Panda also has something called PD. We can use PD as alias. Okay, now in Python, alias are an alternative name for referring to the same thing, nothing different. Okay, now let's create an alias for similar kind of program and see what happens. Import Pandas as PD. Okay, now Pandas. Now the Pandas package can be referred as PD. Okay, let me just delete this. Why is it throwing something else? As PD and space and then enter. It's very important. Now let's take the same example. Say my data set equals curly bracket. Okay, and now let's create, say, bikes, list of bikes. Into the array, let's create an array of bike, square bracket, and then a double quote, let's say Honda bike, comma, and then let's say Yamaha. Oops, it should be in the double quote, Yamaha, and then let's create another one, let's say BMW. All right, and let's put a comma here, and then let's passings colon and a square bracket. Let's create any value, 1 2 3, no, maybe different, 8 7 6. All right, now we need to come out of that curly bracket, because after declaring your data set you need to come out of that, the block. My var, my variable is equal to pd dot data frame. And what is my data frame? It is my data set, like this. All right, and then let's print my variable, my var. Now let's see, guys, let's run this program and see what happens. Run Python file in terminal. Oops, again a syntax error, import PD. Okay, why did I do it twice? I know you guys might be cursing me. I didn't notice this. As PD. All right, now let's see. Run Python file. Why am I not able to see my screen? Okay, there you go. Let me run Python file in terminal. And there you go. I am able to successfully create, right? Using pandas, I'm able to successfully manipulate my data, declare the data, and assign certain passing parameters, right? That is how this works, guys. So this is all right, guys. This is just a lesson number one to show you how basically to import pandas and start playing around with the data. Now what we can do is I'm going to get into more details of panda functions and various other examples I'm going to show you. So stay tuned, and I'm going to be back soon. All right, guys, give me a thumbs up. Goodbye then.